What do you mean you're gonna loop it?
I'm gonna. You want the thing to loop, so the question just it like seems like it's repeating itself. You don't want to like, all right, thank you for because people leave. You
Thank you
want them
very
to get confused and think that the video keeps going and going. So you want to make it seamless in the
You're
loop.
tricking. You're tricking these people, Devin.
Yeah, that's the plan.
We're not liars.
It's
We're
intentional. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to Architects of Lore, the one and only weekly podcast where two spicy cousins sit around and discuss the age-old art of storytelling. And at the end, we're going to come up with something of our own. But I'm your host, Zach, a.k.a. Z-Town TV. That's my co-host / co-cousin, Devin, a.k.a. Devo City. Devin, how are you doing this fine evening?
I'm doing great. Well, it's kind of rainy here. And I wanted to go to the golfing range today, but the rain has kept
Are we already in golfing?
Golf no. I don't want to rush into it away. But it is raining here, and the streets are flooded. And for people who are concerned, I'm okay. I'm on the second floor, but it is gross outside.
Is this, to be honest, I didn't know. Is this another flood in LA that I'm supposed to know about?
I don't know.
Because we did the whole bit of you being on the second floor 2 weeks ago.
I'm just saying, if the city gets washed away, I'm just letting the people know now. Okay, we'll deal with it. We'll figure it out. But
there's family odds on if earthquake hits and you just float away. I'm not saying they're good odds, but we got a pool going.
Not great. I don't like that. That seems really weird. Yeah. So, how are you doing this week, Zeki?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. Had a good holiday weekend off. It's cold, but I did hit the simulator. Don't worry, we'll get into it in sports talk with Architects of Lore. But I saw my niece and nephew, sister-in-law, brother was worse. No, maybe I'll play pickleball. You don't know.
I'm just saying you haven't, and you haven't.
So I haven't. You are correct. Okay, so it's mostly golf talk.
Yeah.
How many days away until the Pompey member guest is the real question? But we'll get into it later.
You don't even know the date of it, which is crazy. Letting the people know. Cat out of the bag. You don't even know the date of it.
July 13th?
Yeah. Not committed, people. Not committed. But go ahead. You hung out with some fam.
Saw some fam, saw some friends, played some board games. Got a lot of extrovert time in. So now I'm going to go ahead and hunker back in for introvert Zach for at least another 6 weeks. So by the time it's spring, I'm back. I'm back out there, Nice. Well, yeah, it was very nice. Got to see a bunch of people, and it was fantastic. Devin, what about yourself? How's your week been?
It's been chill, man. I went to it's rain. It's been rough. I did see the Bob Marley One Love movie. Not gonna lie, little disappointed. I think they could have told a much bigger, broader story, but they really focused on like this one album and these 2 concerts in his career. And as a Bob Marley fan, I just wanted to see the whole story. Thanks for interrupting me with your what is that? No, why didn't you explain to people why you just pointed to Polar Celsius? Not a sponsor, by the way. Tell them why. Why did you interrupt me?
I just wanted to. Okay. First of all, I didn't interrupt you. Didn't interrupt you. Didn't interrupt you.
When you're trying to get the attention on you, that's interrupting. You're taking it away from the audience, and they want to look at you. I can't even have a little conversation. Wow, come on. Talk about your Polar Celsius. Go ahead.
I just wanted people to know. Cranberry lime, great flavor, Polar Seltzer. That's it. Just wanted people
added a lot to the story conversation.
I'm sorry, did I interrupt you? No, I did not.
Yeah, you did. What was I talking about, Zach?
I don't pay attention to you even when you do talk.
Exactly. So
you're talking about One Love. And now you're disappointed because they only focus on a very small percentage of his life, and you're a big Bob Marley fan, blah, 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 blah. Maybe take a little step back and maybe take a little mantra of Bob Marley into yourself. It's all love, baby. All love. All love. Okay? Don't get so heated all the time. You just get so heated. And this is going to make what I say later in the show much more awkward. Yeah. Devin is now on a talking strike, folks. So let me get this story time with Zach. So my brother comes over. We're having dinner, nice little family dinner. It's great. And he shows me that, he's going through a midlife crisis. It's definitely happening because he's gotten super into Jordans, people. I don't know why. He showed me these three
the
pairs
greatest
of
shoe
Jordans.
ever. I don't know what you're talking about.
Shut up. You're on a talking strike. You're on a talking strike.
I didn't declare any talking strike. I was just, I was waiting to interrupt you. And that was great.
Yeah.
I love Jordans. What kind of Jordans did he get?
I don't know. You're going to have to talk to him. Literally, as he was showing me this stuff, I genuinely, and I think he probably thought I was being sarcastic at this. I'm like, Adam, I'm very happy you found something to be passionate and into. I'm glad you picked up a new hobby. I don't care. Like, you're telling me all about these Jordans and how I got to go on this website and how he's on this like Nike app and he gets like pre-selected on if he gets to even purchase the shoes at retail price because he's not going on StockX. That's crazy. Those are crazy people going.
I told him those were crazy prices.
And I was like, I don't want to sound disrespectful. Again, I'm glad that you found
it. It is
something.
disrespectful because if you're not interested in it, you don't care.
But I'm never going to get into it.
Yeah, but what if someone's like, oh, let me talk about my cat. And I'm like, hey, listen, I know you're into your cats, but I don't care.
You say that to me all the time. You say it to me all the time.
That's all I'm saying, though, is, just because you're not interested in it doesn't mean you're not interested in your brother, man. You know what I mean?
That's why I said I'm glad that he found something to be passionate about. I am.
It was condescending.
It was a little condescending. I'll admit it. And I'll probably have to purchase a pair of Jordans to make up for it.
I think you will. Audience, let us know. I'm just saying, you're like
the whole point of this whole story is that he's telling me all this stuff.
Insult him for having a new hobby, and you're just like, you know what? Not for me.
Not for me.
I don't care about
Glad
it.
You like
I'm gonna bring it up on the pod to tell you how much I don't care about it.
Oh, I said it to his face. But the funniest part of this is that he's talking to me like this. He says the words. Yeah, I copped these. He said it unironically to me.
Okay. You can make fun of him for that. I will give you that.
Unironically said, dude, I copped these on that. It was great.
I wonder which ones he got. I know he got the 4s. We have matching shoes. I'm very excited to see him so we can wear them.
He didn't wear them to the house because it's fucking snowing outside. I can't wear. He's like, I can't wear these Jordans out there. I'm going to get them dirty. I'm like, what are you buying them for?
I told him he's got to break them in the house. Then when he goes out in the spring, he's stunting on everybody.
Stunting on it. I looked at it. I was like, you're not going to be one of those guys where we're going to go to like a family wedding and you're wearing a suit and a pair of Jordans and thinking that they're classic shoes, are you? And he's like, I don't know. Maybe I will be. Maybe I will be.
Dude, if I get married, I would definitely spend the money on like $600 Jordans rather than some like $600 red bottom leather shoes that I'm never going to wear again.
So you're gonna okay, all right. We're into Devin's marriage talk with Architects of the Lord. It's your
I'm just
wedding.
saying, if you said marriage, there's only a few options left in the family.
Picture
it's like
perfect.
Me, you, and Michael, man. That's like
we could go to like a renewing of a vows ceremony. We don't know.
Yeah, but do you dress up for those?
I think so.
I don't know.
How much did you dress up for your sister's like party? Because she got married separately, but had like a gathering for everybody. That would be like basically a vow renewal thing. Yeah.
It was a party.
Whatever.
It was a reception.
I'm saying that's like basically what a renewal ceremony would be. It's like,
yeah, and I didn't wear shoes that day.
You didn't?
Not like most of the time. It was out on the field.
Right,
maybe I had flip-flops on. I don't know.
All right, let's get back to you. It's a picture-perfect fall day in upstate New York. You're getting married on a little bit of a mountain.
I get married in upstate New York in the
overlooking Lake Ontario. That's Devin's premier wedding site. He's coming down. He's in a baby blue, slim-fitting
I would wear red for sure.
Tuxedo. red tie. Actually, no,
No.
you're right. It's not baby
You
blue.
said this
It's
is my
Buffalo
idea.
Bills
No, you
blue
said this is my
suit.
thing. No, I'm not wearing Buffalo Bills. Oh my God, this is about me, bro. This is my big day.
You're not going to wear Buffalo Bills colors to your wedding?
Well, maybe I'll like wear the red suit and a blue tie, like reverse it with some like
Bills Mafia.
really
What are
nice
you
shoes.
doing here?
Maybe like the Virgil off-whites.
You're going to wear a full-on bright red suit with a blue tie.
Could be maroon.
Well, Buffalo Bills red is bright red.
You made this up. You made this up, man. You're asking me what I would wear. And then, you know what? You're doing the thing where you're like, hey, Devin, I'm going to ask you this question. This is the answer to that question. What are you saying? You're asking me a question and then you're filling in the blank. Shut your mouth. I'm telling you right now.
I'm paying for a
maroon suit. I got a white shirt. I got a nice blue, maybe like a royal blue tie. And then I got some sweet Jordan 4s on those feet. Looking real good, bro. Looking real good.
Do you have a flat brim cap on too?
No, I'm going to have braids or something.
Oh my God, you're going to have braids.
I don't know. Maybe couple braids. Make it look real nice.
How much jewelry are you wearing? It's your wedding. How much jewelry?
Oh my God. A ring on every finger. Except for and then I'll get one on the other. Boom. So many rings.
How many chains? Visible or invisible? Visible or invisible?
Oof. Probably at least 5.
5 chains, visible?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe 3 visible.
3 visible, 2 invisible underneath the shirt. How many anklets?
0 anklets, but like 4 bracelets, probably.
Bracelets somewhere. And watch, or just bracelets?
I guess the watch would count as one of the bracelets.
Okay.
Like watch, bracelet. You know.
How many studs in the ears?
I'd probably just get some big ass ones and just do 2.
Just do 2? Okay. Mm-hmm. What about nose piercings?
No.
What about for your bachelor party, we get you a face tattoo?
No way.
No.
But I would do a grill.
Oh my God.
Maybe
not a grill.
Maybe not a grill, but I would make this tooth gold. Like if it fell out,
you're gonna be Joe Pesci at your wedding.
Hey, no, just in life, bro. I'm thinking about just wearing a lot of rings a lot, and it's funny because one time we were in Florida, and my parents were like at this timeshare. You have to do the presentation to get like a free night or something.
You got to sit through like a 4-hour presentation. Yeah, I got it.
And this guy was trying to sell him, and my dad was just like, my father told me to never trust a man who had more rings on his hand than your wife.
So that's you. That's you.
I was like, yeah. Well, also, his father had more rings on his hands than his wife, too. Yeah. I was like, was your father just saying, don't trust me?
Pretty much, yeah. Probably
that will, yeah. I mean, some used carsman vibes, some Johnny Depp-esque. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be a prerequisite for your betrothed to also be wearing Jordans?
Yeah, that's their body, their choice, man. That's whatever they want to wear.
You know what? Good answer. Yeah. But if they were wearing Jordans, you guys would like coordinate color and scheme, right? Like if you got Jordan 4s, maybe she's wearing Jordan 7s.
I don't know if those match.
I don't know either. I don't know how Jordans work.
Exactly. Well, it's just a different style has a different number. Like, what do you mean?
Like, if they're different colors, if they're different color schemes, are they different numbers?
What?
Like, if it's a red, does that mean it's always a Jordan 1? And if it's a blue, then it's a Jordan 3? Or is it just like the style of like the shape of the shoe, and that's what changes the number?
Yeah. What do you think? After saying that out loud, which one makes
probably
more sense
the second one?
Yeah,
make more sense, right?
Probably the second one. Yeah, because it's weird if they were just like only this shoe comes in red.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, but then
How many
They come up
Jordan
with this
1s
stuff. We've
are
already
there?
been over this, but then they can just change the color and like they can re-release them. Like, we're not,
No. Remember, this was back early days
yeah,
of
you made
Architects
me
of
cut
Lore.
this all
And I
out.
cut it all out.
All out.
So
I
now it's
think
your
I tried to
turn to
bring it up
decide what you
again.
want. All right. Well, now we're into golf talk with Architects of Lore. Devin, how'd you do this week?
Well, okay, so since I saw you last, audience, I'm talking to you because I played 4 times last week. Ayo. Like, I'm a par three.
Last
Don't think
time,
I'm starting with like, I don't think I'm like, I got like country club money going 4 times. I am playing on a $10 course, like, I
to be
don't mean to
fair,
flex on them.
the last time the audience heard, you had just shot 1 over on 9 holes on a par 3 course.
Oh, yeah. And then I went to the driving range where I could hit my driver because Zach was like claiming I can't hit the long ball.
And you can't.
I'm hitting the long ball. So I did a twilight after that. I was playing 2 balls. I had to wait. I was the last guy on the course. And
You were just getting in that practice.
Yeah, I got like a par. I went like par, and then I just like stopped counting, I think. I don't know.
You're just getting shots in. You're just,
Yeah.
hitting different angles into the course,
Yeah. And then
Get it?
I did I went back to the par 3 and really fucked shit up. Got like a +10, came in last place.
Such a high variance player, folks.
I was drinking
high
beers.
Variance.
I was drinking beers.
Guess
And
what? You never should have said that because now you can't drink at the Pop-In member guest.
It was over that 2 limit. No, well, listen, we all know I'm trying not to get only ready for the Pop-In member guest, but the golf trip I have coming up with my buddy's bachelor party.
Yeah.
I'm going to be drinking while I'm playing golf on the bachelor party. So I was like, let's practice how you play with a few beers. And I need more practice. So I'm getting wasted and going to the party.
There we go.
Hey. You like what I did with these posters? You like how I trimmed them down? I put in O'Neill's Thanksgiving and News. Switch that.
That's a great one. Yeah, I do like it, actually.
Looks a little cleaner, huh?
Audience, I want you to notice that Devin's wearing a zip-up hoodie. Only thing I've been thinking about the last 12 minutes is what the fuck is he going to unzip? Because I know he's got something under there. I know it's probably going to be derogatory towards me.
It's a cold, rainy day.
The last time he did this, he screamed, "Free the babysitter tapes." And it's still in his background.
Free the babysitter and babysitter killer queen tapes.
All right. Well, my golf story is very short. I went to the simulator Drumlins for a match. Can't remember where we played. Probably somewhere in Mississippi, I think. A little bit more of a tighter course, but not as tight as the one before that. Shot 3 or 4 over. It was nice. Trying to shorten on my backswing. I sent Devin another video. He has yet to look at it. But I am trying to shorten up that backswing on the driver. Swing.
You sent me a video?
We'll get there. Yeah. Right after I sent you the...
Is it in slow motion?
Yeah, you know it.
Dude, why are you doing this to me? I can't put this on.
You put it on socials.
No, I can't. That will make someone have a seizure, and we're liable for that.
No,
how many times after I told you, hey, take the slow motion, do what you want.
Take one video of you. Take one video of you.
Take a video. When did I say slow motion video?
Yeah, but no, I'm telling you, take a video of you. I haven't seen you on the golf course yet. You keep saying you're playing 4 times a week. Where's a video of you?
Play by myself. Who's gonna video me?
You played with friends 3 out of the 4 times.
True.
All right, well, let's go ahead and move on to everybody's second favorite segment of the show, and that's the movie game.
Movie game.
Last week's question, movie game question that several of you got, so good job, was Whoopi Goldberg shines as Celie, a woman who overcomes abuse and bigotry in the South to get medieval on some sexual deviance and enjoy a Royale with cheese. Devin, that answer, of course, was...
The color Purple Rain.
Oh.
What was it?
The color per Pulp Fiction.
Why'd you set me up for that? He
I
didn't
thought you
tell me
knew
the
it.
answer.
It was in the
No.
text message.
He dude, Adam, you text me at 7 in the morning one more time on a day off. I'm gonna flip.
He's always going to do that.
President's morning, 7 a.m. Jeez. I looked
Jeez.
at it and then I was like, no, not today, not now.
We appreciate all of our audience members. Thank you for listening,
We
especially
do,
right
like,
when it
time
comes
zones
out.
are a thing. Oh, sorry. Wasn't 7 a.m. It was 5:44 a.m. That is why I did not respond. My apologies. But that was super early.
Adam, keep texting early.
I was like, it's a day off, and then before 6 a.m.
Well, they wake up on Monday morning, they see the shows out there, they immediately click play and they listen. I appreciate that.
I get it. I appreciate it. But I just realized that it was before 6 a.m. when you texted me. Crazy.
Okay, so
Wow.
make sure to text you after 6 a.m. Is that cool?
Yeah,
6 a.m. is the cutoff time? 6 a.m. is the
6 a.m.
cutoff time.
cutoff time. Zach, are you ready for your movie game question?
Well, yes, I am, Devin. Thank you so much for asking.
A high school band instructor learns that his greatest work wasn't the music he created, but the people he met along the way, and that sword swinging Latin cat sporting leather kicks.
I love that first movie too, and I haven't seen that probably in like 10 years. Probably longer. The second one is Puss in Boots.
Okay.
Fuck was his name? It's something's Opus, because it's Puss in Boots. What was his name? Because it's Richard Dreyfuss. He took it. It was a teaching gig. He thought he was going to be a big conductor. He never was. And he learns, friends he made along the way. Mr. Holland's Puss in Boots.
Yeah, congratulations. Mr. Holland's Opus and Puss in Boots.
I got to watch that movie again. That's a good movie. All right, Devin, are you ready for your movie game question?
I am.
I Will Always Love You, Lady, is protected by Dances with Wolves and a group of space misfits that are going to throw down with a daddy planet. I Will Always Love You, Lady is protected by Dances with Wolves and a group of space misfits that are going to throw down with a daddy planet.
I want to say The Guardian of the Galaxy Volume 2.
You are almost right. There's a word between the and guard.
Just the blank guard, Ian of the Galaxy. The front guard, the right guard,
You're rich. You hire
the bodyguard. Okay, yeah. The Body Guardian of the Galaxy's Volume 2.
There he is. He's got it, folks. Kevin Costner protects Whitney Houston.
Yeah. I remember watching that movie after school one day, and she's like,
I don't think that's really appropriate for a school-age child.
No, Whitney Houston says this line like, you can protect me, but you can't fuck me.
Oh, Jesus, Devin.
And grandma's watching it with me. And she's like, do they really got to use that word? It was awkward.
That's very awkward. I would never want to.
Especially since our grandma did not swear. Sugar.
Never. No, she
I
never
heard her
did.
swear.
All right, Devin. Not for you. I did vet this question. So it's super hard. No, I'm kidding. A spectacle. Sorry. This is for the audience. Your movie game question for the week. The spectacled FBI agent is hot on the trail of a teenager, Frank Abagnale Jr., as he forges checks and identities like pilot, doctor, and bee-covered hook hand murder guy. That question again for the audience of the movie game question this week is: a spectacled FBI agent is hot on the trails of a teenager, Frank Abagnale Jr., as he forges checks and identities like a pilot, a doctor, and a bee-covered hook hand murder guy. Let's go ahead and learn about an epic adventure movie. And hopefully it punished you as much as I thought it would. In this week's Studying the Blueprints.
Lawrence of Arabia. Okay, this is a long movie, so this might be either a really short recap or a long recap. Basically, there's this guy named Lawrence who's in the British military in World War I, stationed in Cairo, and then he is sent to Afghanistan in order to meet with the king. Yeah, he is. What are you talking about? Why are you shaking your head?
Afghanistan?
Yes, it is. That's where he's going.
He went to Afghanistan.
Where did he go?
He went into Jordan.
No, he didn't. He went into Afghanistan. Dude.
Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I'm going to look this up right now.
I looked up like where the cities were, and the cities were in Jordan. I could be wrong. Maybe when he first went out into the desert, he was in Afghanistan. But I thought it was mostly
in Jordan.
All
right, man. You do the recap then. Because I don't know what I'm talking about, apparently. You know, it's Lawrence of fucking Arabia. He's a fucking British fucking officer. This is your story. You give the recap. You wanted to punish me so much. It's 3 hours and 42 minutes long.
So you hated it. Didn't hate it. Jesus Christ. Devin's in a mood today, folks. Here's Lawrence of Arabia, a British officer.
So there's this British officer from
I'm gonna storm off like Jason Kelsey did. I'm gonna storm off.
And he's sent to Jordan. To like see if the northern tribes will take out the Turks. And along the way, he meets this guy who kills his original guide. He talks to the prince, and instead of being quiet like he's told to, he has a plan to be like a navy on the desert sea, attacking where they can. He leads this surprise attack over a treacherous desert. He succeeds. He gets two orphans along the way who both unfortunately die, and that he feels very responsible. But as he was opposed to killing in the beginning, he has now got a taste for it. And instead of going away, he keeps coming back. And he's now promoted to major, and he goes by Lawrence of Arabia, and he sees himself as this god figure. But in the beginning of the movie, you know that he dies from a motorcycle accident. So he does like survive all of his issues in Arabia, but he definitely sees himself kind of as a prophet. And it's basically a hero's journey, and the hero has to overcome his own hubris. What do you think, Zach? How'd I do? It's very long, so there's a lot of stories in there.
All right, folks. As you can tell by me not wearing the same clothes anymore, I haven't really pushed my buttons.
What happened to you?
Now the next day, just something about family that knows how to get to you, and so I had to take a break. I don't know why Devin is still wearing the same clothes. I think it's because of the joke he still has planned, and hopefully that does not set me off.
Are you trying to convince everyone this is the next day?
Another.
That's what you've been doing? That's your bit? You were.
That was great. This movie's very long. It's, you know what? They don't make movies like this anymore. And let me tell you why. It's because of these big movie studios are a bunch of fucking cowards. You need to go into the desert and you need to film for a year and a half to come up with a masterpiece like this. Great epic shots, long, drawn out walking trails. So you can really feel it. There's literally a moment in this movie where the main character doesn't say anything. No one says anything, but it's nighttime in the desert, and he basically sits and he stares for about 5 minutes. Is it compelling? Yes, it is. You know who won't do that anymore? Marvel, because they got blue screen and green screen behind them, and they never leave their fucking little compound. Get out there like a real auteur and start filming in the real world again. Okay. That's how you're going to get great movies like this. This movie,
No, those long shots are awesome. Just watching the sunrise or someone coming out of the horizon for like
Mirage,
what feels like 3 minutes. They don't do it. It takes their time. They tell a story.
Yeah,
it was fantastic.
I love this movie. The only thing that disappointed me about this movie is how much you loved this movie.
I know. I really did enjoy it. I called Zach and I said, I knew this was long. I did not know that it was 3 hours, 42 minutes long.
Yeah.
You might want to get a jump on it. I already had started it. And then I got to the intermission and I took a break and I went around my day. And I was like, oh, I'll finish it another day. I had to go back and finish it that day. I was so enthralled. I wanted to see the end of the story. I needed to know how this, like, even though we know he dies, how did he become like
20 years
Lawrence of Arabia? Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's enthralling story.
It is enthralling. I mean, a lot of what I said before was said under the guise of tongue in cheek, but it's not. Because I'm still about this part. If I ever make a movie, I'm going out there. I'm going on location. I'm suffering. I'm not
using real extras and horses and camels.
You can't make that shit up. You know, even with the glorious endgame scene where they're coming out of the portals and stuff, all that stuff, like you could tell all of those people are CGI. You could still tell it.
Or the riders of Rohan. It's like they had a bunch of them, but then they
But then they panned out, them. And then there's just, yeah. But like this, you're looking at a shot that's basically just a guy like, I'm going to climb up on that mountain and I'm going to film this fucking caravan of people coming by. This is the real scale. You just can't get that anymore.
And then you notice that when they're filming, that sand has been untouched. So they had to walk a ton around where all the sand was going to be in the shot. So, because if one person had walked through that and there was already a trail coming, it ruins the thing.
They had rakes behind them. They walk and then the rake is behind the whole time.
It's like Spaceballs when they're combing the desert.
Yes. That's literally the joke I was about to make. But no, I mean, this movie is basically two movies crammed into one because the whole first movie is about his hero's journey to go find this and do something possible, provide this miracle to the Arabians. And he does it and he gets back to his English cohorts and he keeps the garb on of his the people of the desert and talks to them like that. And he gets everything that he's going to want. And he says, I'm going to go back and I'm going to win this war for them. And then right before the intermission, you just hear those two old English guys talking because anything wrong with the world, it's usually two old white guys talking. They're like, are we really going to give them artillery? They're like, no, we're not going to give them artillery. And then intermission. Do you know, second part, Lawrence is set up to fail. But does he, Devin? Does he fail?
No. Very tenacious. He does lose one of his helpers to a tragic detonator accident and then has to kill him himself.
Yeah,
and then also, after saving a man from the desert in order to create peace through these two tribes, he had to kill another man and execute him. And, he gave him life and then he took it away. There was a lot of symbolism in this movie. It
was written, Devin. It was written.
Yeah, a lot of religion, multiple different religions.
I do have to give the who is it? Peter O'Toole, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the main actor. I gotta give him credit because in the beginning of the movie, when he plays this whole aversion to violence thing, I really thought, because I hadn't seen it before and like I vaguely knew about him in history, I really thought he was more like kind of a pacifist guy. And at the end of that first part, he tells the English general and he's like, you can't send me back. And he's like, why? It's because you killed somebody, you can't handle this. I know because I liked it. I
Yeah,
liked it. He's like, oh
he got a
shit.
taste. He got
And
a
then
taste.
that really comes around in the second part, especially that scene where now, what was his name? Sheriff Ali, right?
Yeah,
Um, you meet Sheriff Ali when he comes out of the desert and
Sharif.
murders Sharif Ali. You meet him when he comes out of the desert and he just murders Lawrence's guy. And Lawrence is like, the fuck should you do that for? That was stupid, blah, 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 all that crap, But
Won't
then
tell him his name. I'm not, my name is only for my friends, and my friends are no murderers.
yeah. And then at the end of the movie, that's the guy telling Lawrence, don't go after that army that just slaughtered this village. We're supposed to go to Damascus. Don't divert us. And Lawrence is like, charge ahead, no prisoners.
No prisoners. Let's take him out. He comes back with a bodyguard of assassins
Murderers,
and bad people.
thieves, horrible people.
But I don't know. It's an interesting movie because the character definitely isn't that great of a guy at the end. But it's some like captures you, brings you in, draws you in.
I mean, you could tell, like, with the way that the movie was telling the story, is that you knew he died 20 years afterwards, but they kind of frame it as if he dies leaving the desert when he says, like, I'd never want to see the desert again. I hope to God that I never see the desert again. And then he gives up on the Arabian Council and he's just driving home. And it's just like you just see a motorcycle and that's supposed to just bring you back to the front of the movie, like, oh, he's just gonna die. Like it kind of implies like he never does anything else. Like he left his soul or who he really was back in the desert.
Back in the desert. I mean, when he's trying to assimilate and he is in the other person's costume or not costume uniform, but you could tell that it was a costume on set because it's just like it didn't even look. And then he just runs over to those two guys, and it is the most awkward interaction. And they're like, "Yeah, it's a little interesting." And then he gets all this recognition, and they're like, "Oh yeah, great to see you, man. Good to see you."
Oh my God, I just wanted to say that I shook your hand. He's like, have we met
you see
before?
that callback
No,
in
I don't
the
think
end?
so. Like, we've probably met before.
Alec Guinness playing Prince.
Yeah. Wouldn't fly these days, but hey, whatever.
This is in 1962.
1962. Yeah, it is. I think he
It's
did a good job.
unfortunate that they didn't pick but
Yeah.
not like you can be like, we can't watch this movie anymore.
Yeah. But I thought his line was amazing at the end where he goes like, listen, Lawrence is a sword that cuts both ways. I'm pretty sure all of us are happy to get rid of him. And then the general's like, damn, I thought I was cool. He's like, you're just a general. I'm a fucking king.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was a fantastic movie, though. I thought it was great. The match
Me
trick,
too. I loved it.
not really that painful because if you spin the match, the flame goes out. And then if you press it hurts for minimal amount of time. I don't know why they harped on that in the beginning. It was kind of, well, I did it twice to see if it, because I spinned it the first time and it went out before I even touched it. And I was like, all right, let me not spin it. And then I was like, still, that didn't hurt that bad. But showed his character, I guess, because he says, it's not, it's like, what, you just don't care that it hurts, right? Or something. It's not that it doesn't hurt, it's that I don't care that it hurts.
Or that you just accept the pain or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, Devin, I think the audience really wants to know, though, is where is it going to fall?
On the lore list. All right, the lore list. At the top, we got movies like Shawshank Redemption, Raiders of the Lost Ark. In the middle, we got, as always, Surf Ninjas. And then towards the back, we got movies such as Son of Batman and The King, Kid Who Would Be King. But where does Lawrence of Arabia fall on the lore list?
Let me go ahead and stab you right there, Devin. Because, oops.
The new number one on the lore list is Lawrence of Arabia. Congratulations, Lawrence of Arabia. New number one on the lore list. There it is. Looking, congratulations, Lawrence of Arabia. Whoa. What are you doing?
I don't think that's what happened. But
What are you doing? You gotta move Paddington 2 down. Are you done?
What?
You gotta move Paddington 2. Congratulations, Lawrence of Arabia. New number one on the lore list.
Yeah, we haven't talked about that. See, now if you would have read the lore list, it says number 2. It says almost as good as Paddington 2.
What are you talking about right now?
See, right here.
What are you talking about right now?
It's not going number 1, Devin.
What do you mean it's not going? How is Lawrence of Arabia an epic classic? Some would consider the best movie ever made, not number 1 on the lore list.
Who would consider it?
Lawrence?
Lawrence would consider it the best movie ever made.
If you knew that character, he definitely would. P.E. Lawrence would definitely consider this the best movie ever made.
He was a bit of a
narcissist.
Devin, here I got one question for you. When you watch these two movies, which one makes you want to be a better man?
Lawrence of Arabia.
Paddington 2.
When I watched Paddington 2, I had to shut it off.
No, you didn't. You're playing this up. You saw the movie and you loved it.
You're literally saying, as a movie connoisseur, as a movie buff, the lore list, something that's infallible, that Paddington 2 is better.
Well, if it's infallible, if it comes from on high and we are just the conduits of the list, then why am I getting this strong urge to keep Paddington number 1? That's not biasness. It
seems biased.
That seems
we
like
haven't
the
even
universe.
watched it. Put an asterisk next to that goddamn
I've
Paddington
seen it,
2.
and so have you.
I am talking about architects of lore as a society, as a functioning.
This is the most I'm willing to do.
It's
the most I'm willing to do. We could tie it.
You have to at least.
2 number 1s. 2 number 1s, Devin. Here we go. Number 1.
There you have it, guys. Congratulations. Lawrence Arabia, new number 1 on the lore list.
Tied with Paddington 2 as the number 1 movie on the lore list. I'll have to delete this note then. Just as good as Paddington 2. There we go. Folks, I never thought this day would come. It's a damn good movie. And if you haven't seen it, carve out 3 hours and 42 minutes of your life and go and watch it. There it is. Congratulations to Lawrence of Arabia. Tied for the new number 1 on the lore list. Well, let's see if we can come up with an epic adventure movie of our own, Devin, in Building the Lore in the Writer's Zoo. I've been brainstorming all week.
Well, last week we came up with
nothing.
Bearing the Debt, which was about a group of
octogenarians. It was a heist, an adventure heist movie with a bunch of 80s people sticking it to Medicare and the man with the help of a boomer, a millennial, and a Gen Z.
Yeah, but this week we're going to come up with something a little bit more epic, a little something larger in scale, a little something I like to call Dune's worst nightmare, because it will be more epic, more desertish, more space.
We're not doing deserts. All right, we're on Pentalon 8, folks. 20,000 year of space.
Okay.
Pentalon 8.
Okay.
Picture this: wide open plains.
Okay.
A little mountainous, but again, Pentalon 8.
Not this universe,
bearing
not our
in
history. All
Zero.
right.
So we're on Pentalon 8, and we got this family, a young family, mom, dad, 10-year-old son, 5-year-old daughter. Mom's pregnant with another kid. They're on a migration from a city to another place because some herds or crop desolation. We don't know. But they're going.
Maybe it was a famine or something, but I don't know.
On the way, though, mom starts giving birth. And the tribe stops. The midwives come out. They help with that. But after that, the mom can't go. Complications, sickness.
She has a
for
fever.
some reason.
Yeah.
But the tribal leaders, very strict deadline on where they need to go. So
they got a solstice to meet or something, where like there's four planets aligned in the sky, and it's some religious thing that they have to get there for, or maybe something of this sort.
They're just not super chill because they're like, hey, we're out. Our laws. You get, you stay behind, you left behind. So they leave. Family stays because dad's a good guy. He's not leaving his wife and his kids. That's crazy. So, but they're in this area of Pentalon 5 that is uncivilized.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really know. They only travel through this place, and it's always scary. They got to make a life there because the mom is going to take some time to recover. So there's
stories of the people who live there as being
uncivilized,
vicious, and brutal, and very one for think of themselves first. So they're not going to help you. Yeah,
bunch of meanies.
They might steal your stuff. They might kick dirt in your eye. Real
bad
throw stuff.
Small little pebbles at you when you're not looking.
Yeah,
and then
they're going to untie your laces.
Then they're going to run around to another place where you don't think that they are, and then they're going to throw another small pebble at you. Just think of meanies. They're just a bunch of meanies. All right,
just a bunch of
family.
Meanies.
They're against the elements. They're against time. They got to get food. They got to get shelter. So the family bands together, and over a period of years, they start to build a life for themselves in this area.
They meet some people along the way who help them.
Who are like not meanies, by the way.
Like an old woman from the woods type, healer type. Maybe she gave like a salve that initially broke the fever. It could be like a first journey to overcome, is they see this person and they think, oh my God, we've heard all these stories about these meanies. They're going to attack us. And then it's a little old babushka who's there to take away the fever.
And I know what you're thinking here, people. You're like, oh, they're being juvenile by saying meanies a bunch of times. No, that's what the first tribe civilization called these uncivilized people. They just called them meanies. So that's just their name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
That's their name. They don't like the name, but
they don't like the name. They didn't
choose the name.
Yeah, they didn't choose it. They're chilies.
So they create like a Swiss Family Robinson style homestead in the woods type thing. Mm-hmm. So they found running water. They've been taught they've learned along the way.
Over the course of the years, this family, the mom, the dad, the son, the daughter, and let's go with another son. There's a third son there. They help these other people kind of build a more stable and settled society there. Because this tribe of people who lived in the wasteland were kind of like, they're roaming and whatnot. So kind of build more of like establishments. They help each other. The meanies help the family how to survive here, and the family helps them, build more of a settled community. But then years pass.
Okay, so why would they leave? Well, if they've already established a community, I feel like they have like their homestead, and the meanies have like laughed at it, and they still live off the land and but like they've become this like stop that like people come in and out of.
I'm not saying,
well, like if they have a community, it's like,
I'm not saying all the meanies are not living in there, but there's more of just one house. It's like a little.
Well, they bring in the old woman
thing. Yeah,
and maybe there's like an old hunter who looks shady and maybe tried to kill them at one point, and it's like, because this is a 3.5 hour movie. We have to have attacks and throughout the years, and show them when the kid's like 15 and maybe 15 and
First love.
10 and 5
First
and
love.
10. Huh?
First love. Because now the second part of the movie, Devin.
First love or first fight? I thought it was like
there's going to be an intermission.
Someone attacking him. Someone trying to kill him.
There's going to be other meanies, that has some And then the new family has to show their worth, their mettle or whatnot, helping fight and, protect the society. But I'm thinking the second part of the movie, because obviously there's an intermission, is now that the son, young man, and he is going to marry his first love from this tribe of meanies. But the old tribe, their original tribe, is coming back to their city. And because of that, they send out raiding parties for foraging, stuff when they're on their way, gathering up stuff for the whole tribe. And on one of these foraging parties, a group of the old tribe warriors capture several of the meanies, including the son's first love.
The
betrothed. Let's just call her Megan. Megan the meanie.
No, come on! Like, stop making this a joke. And actually, what do you mean, Megan? This is Pentalon 5. They have names or 8.
What do you want to call
Megan?
What do you want to call her? No, I'm not calling her Leaf. Who's making a joke now? No,
Daisy.
I'm not calling her that. No,
Willow. If it's all, because the meanies, they're all, they're like things very literally. They're people of the woods. Bark, Tree Stump is her uncle.
Her name is
all
Star.
trees.
Her name is Star Child because she was born under stars.
All right, well, she just go by Star.
Okay, her name is Star. So Star gets
that
captured.
sounds much more like a realistic name than Megan. I'm just saying.
Fine. Star gets captured by a group of warriors from the original tribe. Devin, what's the original tribe's name?
No, I don't want to go with a name.
Well, we gotta differentiate the tribe. We have the meanies. We have the family unit.
It's just the people in the woods. They're only labeled the meanies by the original tribe here, by the Rockhead people.
The Rockheads. Okay, we got the tribe of Rockheads coming because they're from a city of rocks, carved stone. But now we're in the hills and the forest.
Well, originally, they were focused on this rock, and they were oppressed. And a rock hit some guy in the head and killed them. And then they
you're building mythological lore for the Rockheads now.
Yeah, they decided that
on Pentalon 8. Remember, this is Pentalon 8.
They had to form kind of like and not have one leader, because if one man gets too big, a rock will fall on his head.
Yeah,
basically
the Rockhead society really functions on the threat of violence. You do something we don't like, big old rock's gonna hit you.
Yeah, someone might be throwing that rock.
Somebody might be throwing that rock. So, all right. So, a group of the Rockhead warriors come and they're foraging, and they find a group of these woodsmen, people, the meanies, capture them, and that includes the son's first love, and now he's a young man, and
his son's name is Knock.
His son's name is Knock, and so Knock. I got it. Thank you. Hears about this. And he gathers up a couple of his buddies. And he's got to set off because he's going to the big city because he's going to get his people back.
It's basically like an Avatar situation where they form this only society with the people. And now they're
the same species. It's not like it's a bunch of humans and then 16
I know, but it's basically
like,
it's basically like Robin Hood. And went into the woods, and now he's befriended the robbers of the woods.
So Knox got Father Tuck. He's got Little John.
Friar Tuck.
Friar Tuck. So he gathered, and he's impetuous. He wants to go back. He wants to kill a bunch of people. He's got to get his wife back. And his dad goes with him. Devin, because you wanted his dad with him, right? Dad knows the city. Knows the people.
Because he's the original hero of the story, and we kind of follow him first, and we see him, and then it transitions into the son's story, and then the father, I think, has to
you gotta die.
I think sacrifice himself because the son Knock has to lose his mentor, basically, so he can be his own hero.
Knock's got to do something stupid while he's in the big city.
Yeah.
And then he only gets saved by his dad, either taking the fall or falling on the sword, something like that.
Well, I think he brings, he says I was born into the Rockhead people. You left me behind, how are you not getting rocks on your head? Basically holding a mirror up to them. Right.
Wait, hold on. Is this Knock or his dad?
His dad. His dad.
Father Knock. So Father Knock has a huge rock above his head. He's ready to slam down.
Let's not call him Father Knock. Let's give him a name. Like something with power, strength.
Boulder.
Yeah. It is my Boulder.
You left Boulder to die in the wasteland, and Boulder came back with a large boulder.
Yeah. And then
now we're in WWE.
He starts a rock fight.
But he only does that because his son got caught, and he knows he's got to cause a distraction. And then Boulder dies in the horrific rock fight of 2027. Goes down. Sorry. There goes Boulder.
Knock, realizes that the stakes are a little higher, and he has to save Star, and not just Star. He realizes there's other prisoners, saves them, but I think they got to take out these rock people too. They can't leave. They can't leave this because they'll come back next time they go through They just take what they want.
Knock challenges the High Rock for position of High Rock. And then it's a 1v1 mano fight of rocks. And he's got to come out on top. And then he becomes the new rock leader. And he builds a more integrated society. Or we just kill some people and he runs away and they're in death.
I think that.
It's one of those.
And just let them fight him out. And then he goes back to his. And then they just know for next time that they'll be ready for when they come back. But maybe shit up there.
Maybe like the rock leader or somebody like a General Rock or something like that is like, I know exactly where you guys live now. The only reason we haven't taken you
they're
out.
Not real rocks. Like they're the rock head people.
I know.
So
I know who they are.
For the audience, I just, you just keep saying this rock and the rock general rock leader. And I'm either thinking of a bunch of Dwayne White or Johnsons or like literal boulders. But these are a group of people. They're just a very violent group of people.
Rock.
Yes.
People. Violent.
Compared to a very helpful community people who live off the land, in the woods, in the trees, in Swiss Family Robinson type apartments.
Yeah, the real name for the people are the Barks.
Yeah.
Not the Meanies.
No.
Barks. Okay, so Knock has to take out, I'm assuming it's got to be somebody who's like, he knows where they are. And like, he's going to send some warriors out to it because maybe the Rockhead never knew where the Meanies were. And that's why they never like really went to war with them. So you got to take the.
Well, they never were anywhere, but now that the family has set up this central hub, he's put them all in one place. So now he's on his way to come destroy that place that they built up. And now you have like the Bark people being like, we would never have this issue if we continued our old ways. So now you're putting our most vulnerable people at risk because they're all in one place.
But Knock takes care of it.
Of course, he takes care of it
by killing this guy
and using the land to their advantage. Because once you're in those woods, that's where they messed up. They went and tried to fight on their turf, and they failed. Now they're bringing the fight back home, and they're gonna win.
It's darkness in the forest, and all you hear is a voice coming out, and he goes, "You've always thought that we should be afraid of you, but you should be afraid of us."
Zach,
and Knock comes down with a huge thing and just kills him.
I hate when you name the movie, but Darkness in the Forest is a hell of a name.
The Darkness in the Forest, semicolon, the war between Bark and Rock.
No. We are not messing it up with a great title like that by throwing a joke on it. And we'll figure out some real non-jokey
actual names. Yeah. The names are the hardest part, people. When you're doing this spitballing thing, like coming up with a cool name that encompasses everything, that's the hardest part. We have a 3 hour and 48 minute long Epic.
So the Architects of Lore original idea, our original epic, Darkness in the Forest, starts with a young family. A father, young,
Boulder.
his wife, who's pregnant, their 10-year-old son, 5-year-old daughter. Their people, the Rockhead people, are on their migration to when the 4 moons line up in the sky.
Ooh.
On the way, the wife gives birth. The drive stops. The midwives help. But she falls ill, and they're left behind, alone.
In the wastelands. So the family has to band together, head up into the forest of this wasteland. But that's a dangerous part because they've always been told that there's a bunch of meanies up there who are violent and vicious and will take everything that you have. You know,
they encounter one in the woods. They think it's over, but it turns out to be an old woman who has a salve that cures the fever of the wife.
Yeah.
They develop a life.
The tribe's too far gone, so they stay.
They integrate into these meanie people. True name, the Bark people.
Yep. That's what it was. Bark people.
We see them go out through life. At one point, a man comes to try and attack them. A real challenge for the father and the now 15-year-old son.
Mm-hmm.
But they realized the man was just hungry. So instead of killing him, they feed him. And that man becomes their best friend, and that's Uncle Kaio.
Okay, that was definitely new and not talked about, but that's fine. So we're going to say during this interaction with Uncle Kyle, Boulder is just sitting up there with a rock the whole time, waiting.
Yeah, he's ready.
Ready to go. But the Bark people got into them, and they see the goodness in Uncle Kyle.
Yeah.
So apparently there's an Uncle Kyle now. He's cool.
I mentioned that they were attacked by someone and that they brought him back.
Yeah.
And then I read your Tokyo Jam poster, and I just take the KYO, and I said, Uncle Kyle.
Uncle Kyle.
So,
and he's the comic relief for the whole movie. He's great. Great guy.
After this epic tale, we finally get to an intermission because every epic needs an intermission. And
right before the intermission is the Rockhead tribe coming back and a bunch of warriors going up into the forest. You're like, oh shit!
Intermission. 7 minutes to 15 minutes, depending on where you see this.
The screen is black. We have a full orchestra just playing music.
Mm-hmm.
After that, we come back and we pick up right where we left off. Those warriors are Rockhead people. The tribe is migrating back to their original city, and they're out foraging. But foraging for meat, plunder, people, anything they can get their hands on. And they find it all in this group of Barks who are out getting some food and some berries and some water. And they grab them and they take them back to the tribe. But one of those is Nock's first love and his betrothed. I don't remember what. Star. Nock gets all hot-blooded and heavy. He grabs a couple of his buddies. Uncle Kyle's like, you got to get out there, man. You got to get out there. And his dad's like, whoa. I know in the past, I used to be very hot-headed, but you want to survive in the city? I got to come with you. You don't remember it, son. I do. So they head to the big city.
And guess what? Nock messes up. And his dad, Boulder, has to reveal himself to the Rockhead people. Holds up a mirror to the Rockhead people. Starts basically a war with them. Fighting ensues. Boulder dies, but Nock, he's able to escape with Star and the rest of the warriors. But unfortunately, he's brought them right back to the forest. They're on their tail. And now it's time for them to fight on their turf.
They set up barricades in the forest trail lands. They dam up rivers. They got warriors up in the trees who don't really know how to fight that much, but Nock teaches them the ways of war. They're sharpening spears. They're getting rocks and everything. They're ready to go to war.
They become the Rockhead's biggest fear. they become the darkness in the forest.
Basically, they win. They kill all these people, and the Rockhead City never finds out where they are, and they get to live a happy life. And Nock raises his newborn son up in the image of his hero, Uncle Kaio. I'm kidding. It's his dad.
And John Williams does the music.
Yeah!
That is the Architects of Lore original idea. The darkness in the forest, darkness in the forest. I can't remember if it has a the or not.
I think it was the darkness in the forest.
That's the Architects of Lore original idea, the darkness in the forest. If you like that idea, or if you have any comments, you can go ahead and email us at architectslore@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram at Architects of Lore. Follow us on X at Arc of Lore. And we do have some user comments from this week. We have this week's pod. Loved it, especially the new movie. Great banter, getting tighter. Maybe I'll watch Lawrence of Arabia. Well, you should. It's a long one, but I think it might be worth it. We also got another one in honor of Lawrence of Arabia. Nate Stevens has sent best bunker tips, hard versus soft sand.
Does he actually say in honor of Lawrence of Arabia, or this?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Nate. Good job.
So I appreciate that. Thank you very much. If you want to reach out to us again, that's architectslore@gmail.com. So we asked the audience what study we would be studying next time, and they responded with what, Zach? What is our feel-good genre?
Well, the results are in, folks. What the audience wants is what the audience wants, so we're doing feel-good animated movies.
Okay.
Kicking us off is probably the greatest movie that ever has Smash. No, what are they? Smash Mouth?
Smash Mouth.
Smash Mouth song in it. And that's Shrek, baby.
All right, 2001 Shrek, the original. Check that out for next week's episode.
I don't have a clue where it's on, but it's probably at least on Amazon.
Yeah.
Disney might
Everyone
own
loves
it.
the Shrek.
They might. I don't remember. It could be on Disney Plus. Everybody loves Shrek. All right, so that's it. It's Shrek for next week's episode. Thank you for listening, everybody. And be sure to follow us on Instagram at Architects of Lore, TikTok at Architects of Lore, X at Arc of Lore. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Just search Architects of Lore. You'll find us. And I think that's it.
Please like, subscribe. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Now remember, everybody, if you got a story in your head but you can't seem to get it out,
do it.
Just fucking do it. Because if it sucks, who cares?
Oh, that's what editing's for.
Good night, everybody.
Bye. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Come on, man. You're too predictable, Devin. Too predictable.
Oh.
It was still good. I love how the fact that you did not have the space or the aptitude or just really the will to write out Lawrence of Arabia. You just did congrats, L of A.
I also did the same with Architects of Lore because I didn't want to write that out either.
New number one on the A of L lore list.
Don't remember Architects of Lore. Architects of Lore.
Architects of Lore.
That's like a quote, you know? Congratulations.
By the way, I did figure it out.
New number one on the A of L lore list.
I did figure it out. You do change the title cards. Yeah. Because last week's was blueprints, plural.
Because maybe it's because someone said let's study the blueprints, huh?
Sure.